Welcome back to the FSL Showdown. We're on for match number 6. It is between the likes of Team 4 and Team 2 on Fracture. Team 4 having just experienced a loss on Haven. They may be trying to fight their way back in against the girls from Kohaibi, Iceberg, Lorco, Baby TZ, and Gwen's team. So this is going to be a difficult fight. And heading into Fracture, it's a map that we rarely see in any pro circuit. So it is going to be a learning experience, at least for a lot of these players in the server, as well as lots of the casters on the desk. As well, it's not too often we get to see this happen.
Exactly, and of course, pretty excited to see. I mean, Team 4 has just got a match earlier before we start here, so let's see if there is quite of a shake up here. And of course, it may be a bit demoralizing of having a scoreline of 13-1, but they do have that chance to really bounce back up, because individually these players are amazing, but of course it's just still up to the synergy of this team. And you very interesting how the Jaeger is just looking straight into your soul. But with that being said, let's go ahead into our agent selection before we get any more weirded out with Jaeger, right? So so here in towards our draft pick, I am expecting to see a chamber as well, because personally, as I have been at least looking into a chamber, it also works well in a fracture. But I feel like a breach as well, which is very much hovered by both of our teams, surprisingly. Because again, although fracture is quite a, I can say, a flexible kind of map. Personally, I would prefer it over bind, but but if you try to like remove the zip line and kind of just like clap them together, it's quite a smaller map. So if you are able to play around with these corners, it can really make wonders. And highlighting the breach as well, simply because breaches concusses his rolling thunder, and as well as his splashes, it just works really well in these said angles. It can really cover most of the site, so that's the kind of play that you'd want to go. Interestingly enough, though, for the side of Team 4, they have Brim, they have Breach, they have also the Chamber and Double Duelist, so they won't be having healers here. But the fact that they do have a lot of utilities that they can use, either for diversion or either to actually bait the other members or their opposing team, it can really work so well for them.
I love seeing Chamber on
Mm.
Fracture. There's so many ways that you can teleport around the map, and it's a big one. And rotations can take quite a while. So when you're in spawn, getting from left to right can be quite quick. I also prefer having the brimstone as well, just because you get a little bit more freedom on where you put those smokes. Considering the fact that it is a big map, and I understand the idea behind having the Viper. Unless you got those lineups though, in those situations, you can achieve the same things with the brimstone. You can smoke off tower and smoke off the back of the site and spawn, and you got an entrance way into the site. Same can be said over in the B site. You smoke off the stairs, you smoke off spawn, and you smoke off elevator. You got a way into the site, and you don't really get that freedom of having 3 entryways blocked with the wall unless you cut off a huge portion of the site, and you want to have as much control as possible. So I do prefer the brim, but perhaps Gwen will show us why she thinks Viper was the better choice here. As taking a long-range fight, Mochi will get a dink. We'll get it down to 60 in the process. We'll avoid this damage for now.
That's gonna be a flash in, but that's going to be one first before Gwen goes for the trade. So there's now a 4v4, but take note, 2 members are already down and make it a 3 versus 4 this time in Iceberg. Just getting one for the team, uses a flash, but the timing is not in his favor, as Primi takes one as well, or Oreophilia as well, and Ginny from the drop will secure this first round, taking Kohaibi down. And Kohaibi this time is a killjoy, but from the previous rounds that I've seen her, she is the Sova. And the ones earlier, I know she was a duelist from earlier. Or it's still the Sova. My memory juggles me. But the fact that Kohaibi can have this flexibility of having multi-roles. It's really amazing. But then, at least for the pistol, Team 4 was able to get it down. And I guess this is also really good because it is expected that they are going to win this next one, since again Spectre's on this, and Aluka was able to peek down one. A little bit of a time there, taking that jiggle peeks. And I like the patience that Aluka's really doing
Oh.
right now. A little bit of a half health there, but Orifila saves the day. Will be using that flash to get Gwen off guard. And look
Great
at this.
teamwork.
They're just double peeking in the process. Oriofilia gets a 4K and didn't really give time for these members to get into a site.
That's a very confident defense, starting things off on the right foot. Despite that 13-1, it looks like their spirits are as high as ever. Now, though, they
Exactly.
do have to go up against the rifles. Gwen is going to have a full buy as well. It's only Iceberg who has half armor, and it's still going to be the bonus round for Team 4. But let's see how they adapt to the superior weaponry from Team 2. They should be playing some close angles and trying their best to take fights where they have that advantage, especially two-man peaks. That can definitely work out for them.
I mean, that could be the case, but right now we're seeing Lorco spotting out Aluka, and as well as their leer from Ginny. Let's see if it all works well into her favor. That's going to be a whip for both of them. A little bit of a reload from Lorco's, but Baby TZ will secure a cleanup there in towards this area. And Kohaibi, for a kill of her own, actually gets this round for the team. And I mean, it's to be expected since they do have the rifles at play, and they were able to really place themselves in a favorable manner by taking B main, so that there's not really much question to that.
And now we actually have the operator coming out in the hands of Ginny as well. Where does she tend to go? She's holding very close in the B side. She wants to hold arcade with the operator, and that is a good position. But she is going to have to secure a kill to get away in case there is a double peek. And out come the defensive smokes. Out comes a molly as well. Kohaibi is delayed for a moment as Lorco will find Primey. That was the utility. They've already got control of this site, so now they have to worry about the retakes.
And look at this, Toxins is going to be placed here as well, just so that they can delay the potential retake that's going to come in from Team 4. But right now, the spike hasn't been planted just yet. They're still giving space for the breach. Right now, gonna be concussed a bit. Little bit of a spray down there. Liking the discipline that they're not really peeking as much and they're waiting for them to actually enter. But with all of these wall bangs here, Mochi will be taking Baby TZ down. That's going to be a flash. Forced to hide. Iceberg takes one, or you feel it for the trade. Ginny for the op kill, and Iceberg being the only member alive. Uses the roll in thunder, but still gets Mochi in the process. And right now, you see Ginny.
Oh, the timing.
Timing! And that's gonna be a clutch for their team, equalizing the scoreboard. But yeah, the timing, as we both said it as well in time. If ever Ginny didn't pick up that gun, that could have been a different story. But then again, it was an operator, so it's understandable why she chose to have that vandal. Because again, having a rifle, especially in that close combat, can increase your chances of actually getting that kill.
Here.
This is becoming very difficult very fast for our defenders side, because Team 2 are doing a very good job of making space with their utility. You can see now where Gwen's Viper Walls are coming in very useful, because they cut off the entire half of the site, and in those situations Team 4 aren't taking advantage of that lack of space they have available to them. They could move close and get some utility sent out, but there's Mochi X finding a kill and then teleporting away to safety. And that's exactly why I love seeing Chamber on Fracture.
And I actually would like to commend Mochi back there. She has really quick reflexes to suddenly transpose to teleport. But right now, Aluka misses the Blade Storm and Baby TZ will be taking that kill. 2-on-2 now. The spike is going to be planted. Now they're ready for the post-plant situation. Mochi, however, will be taking Lorco down. And again, maybe using this potential teleport, has a Sheriff in her arsenal, may go in towards smoke, perhaps? Oh, but spots out Baby TZ. It's gonna be 3k. That's gonna be a fake defuse here. Kohaibi will be spotting out too. And Ginny, the only member here. And oh, will be taken by Kohaibi, but Oreophilia takes one, make it a double in her name. Oreophilia is really starting to pop off for the team this time. And it also is a thrifty round.
I love this. Someone has got a full mage punk setup here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Really investing in one theme. You love to see it. And yeah, as you said, Oreophilia, great job in this particular round. That double kill on the spray transfer. 3-2 now, and the defenders have made their way back in. Despite that, the Viper's Pit coming into play, the utility wasn't enough to keep them safe from Oreophilia. Kohaibi will bring in some utility to clear their way forward so they can push. Alarm bot on their flank as well. They take control, and there, another kill. Aluka, well played onto Lorco. Get that first kill, and Mochi, instead of having to deal with that, just disappears. Oh, so many targets!
Ooh, a lot of heads to deal with as well, but Oreophilia was able to get one for the trade. Uses her skills just so that they won't be able to push down ropes, which is a smart idea. And right now we do see that lockdown to be placed by Kohaibi, liking how how Aluka still is patient with that, but Baby TZ takes Oreophilia down. Aluka for the trade. Aluka should have enough time to get away from this lockdown, but there goes the plant, spots out Kohaibi, and they now know that Iceberg is in towards the spike. They can double peek this, but Ginny spots it out, but Primi is the one who's going to clean it up. And this has been a near battle so far.
Yeah, it's been very close, but it still comes down to who can close out the round, and these retakes have been very successful to Team 4. And they're in another situation as well.
Here.
Ginny, good use of... She has continuously pushed Dish, and it keeps working out for her. And this time she is situated in the B site. She's not going to be rotating over from A by pushing through Arcade. The question is, where is this spike going to go? Because it is sitting in their spawn, but it looks like they want to push towards Dish with 2 players. That is the Killjoy up close to Dish, and Breach is pushing forward as well. They're just watching this flank. Baby TZ. Oh, 1-for-1 exchange, and Luca gets the kill. And that's going to be Lorco getting Mochi in response with a weapon retrieved. 4 versus 4, low HP for Aluka.
Indeed, and Lorco is able to spot out one in towards that site. Aluka still being patient and looking at drop. That's going to be a flash, though, by the Breach. Let's see, really patience going on here. Liking how Primi was able to secure drop. Uses the steam beacon as well for additional movement speed and fire rate. That's going to be a smoke kill. They spot out Kohaibi in drop, but that's going to be a beautiful tap by Gwen. Is it going to be another, though? Is it going to reflect? It is low on HP. That's going to be the second. And down goes the spike. Iceberg here may try to go in towards ropes to see if there is any potential flank, but Ginny with the Vandal may be able to work this out for her favor. Aluka will be trading it out with a Vandal. I kind of low-key thought that there was an attempt in the knife, but you know what, maybe not. But then Ginny was able to secure that 2k just so that, you know, they can get the round.
Go for the knife, save ammo. But yeah, I don't think it was worth it at that point. Way too much of a risk. But it's always a good way to get into your enemies' heads. And Gwen did a great job with that sheriff, but Ginny once again huge flank and a double kill to boot. So continuing on
Here.
with their success so far on the defending side, 5-2, and Aerophilia still keeping it up, 10-2.
So far, again, liking how Team 4 this time plays in such a it's in such a different way from their previous match, to say the least. And I think it's also because that they are in a more comfortable role, because or in a more comfortable setting, or maybe they kind of like found their way to reset themselves in the process. So, or maybe, well, there are a lot of possibilities, but the fact that they are able to really reflect this performance right now is really a huge deal. So this Rolling Thunder, I'm not sure if it's meant to really concuss the member, the teammate, but Aluka gets one. Ginny for the trade. Iceberg will be getting that refrag. Ginny, however, will be staying in this corner. Lorco having a bit of a trouble in taking her down. Oreophilia will be taking Kohibi as well. 3 versus 2. They already know the one is in tower. So they can go for the double peek, which happened just now with Ginny and Oreophilia. Iceberg being the only member alive. The spike is there and was able to isolate that fight. Uses Concuss. May try to go from
30 seconds
Arcade.
left.
Let's see if it works out though, because the crossfires can happen. Despite this change, there can still be, I said, room for some adjustments. But then again, both of them takes 3 under their name, but Ginny wins the round in their favor. So it's a 6-2. This time they're the ones who's actually, having this one-sided performance. It's working really well for them, at least for the first half.
That's absolutely right. This time, half armor for Kahibi and Baby TZ. Ginny has been cleaning up every single round here, with Oreophilia getting those initial kills as well. And that's exactly what an initiator and a duelist are meant to do, aren't they? And we saw this scoreline against them before. And as you said, Team 4 doing a very, very good job. This is going to be a good spot. Lorco. Oh, dear. Luca gets tapped by Lorco. She's going to push the other side here. Doesn't expect much to be extended all the way out. That's a 1-for-1 exchange. A good trade. Iceberg can't push forward just as all the utility finishes. A smoke covers off the entrance. And now they have to rotate perhaps over towards the B site, where already pushed out Ginny is sitting watching B long.
At least on how Team 4 is positioned, they're really quite disciplined on how things are gonna pan out here, and love the position of Ginny. Right now it's very uncalled for, but maybe TZ just really quick on the corners is able to read behind the lines, and not reading that though, as Oreophilia takes Ginny down enough to get that ult going and just spots out the 2 immediately, and Mochi gets Gwen down despite that orbital strike. Iceberg will be taking that flash. That's gonna be a whiff there, but Mochi, as the refrag calls it, takes 4K. 7-2 under their name. Team 4 looks like they're really, running away with this huge of a gap.
This shot from Mochi, watch as this ult comes out, you see it mid-air for Gwen. Mochi finds the headshot while she's in mid-air. What a shot from Mochi. And finding this last kill as well to trade for Oreo, who got a dink onto Iceberg, to be fair. That really was on Mochi getting those 4 kills. Well played. And yeah, Team 4 to win. As starting off with a kill there from Ginny, playing very aggressively, finding a double kill. And maybe biting off more than she can chew? No, absolutely not. She knows exactly what she's capable of. A triple kill starting off, flash, concussed, every which way she can be affected, she has been affected.
And yet she still survives. Ginny, you are a mad lad. I would like to. No, I'm kidding. But Ginny with the 4K, but Oreophilia denies the ace. But Ginny was there as well to pop off for the team. And despite all of those splashes, all of those smokes that was thrown upon her, she was able to really get that discipline going. So right now, this is the replay first. head coming in. Take a quick peek. That's gonna be another before changing the tabs. Get the leer, make it a third. Uses the heal to kind of compensate for that and repositions herself to an off angle. But that alone was just it's like making dessert and you put a cherry on top. It was beautiful. Very divine. No.
Well, push in towards the A site now, and it's going to be Primi to
Oh.
at least slow down the push. Smoke's going to go down into the entrance. Ophelia.
Another Rolling Thunder coming in from the breach. Ophelia will be using that flash. Now you can really see how effective these skills are from a breach. That's going to be a Viper Spit as well. Planting down the spike. Primi in a slightly interesting angle. Goes in towards that box over there. Uses the updraft to see any information. And they just really went down. They just go down here. Going to be one. That could be another as Kohibi and Gwyn gets that trade off. Kohibi as well takes 3. Looks like she's also a madman here as Gwen finishes his off. Taking Ginny down in an off angle as well. But that's going to be an 8-3. But again, overlooking that, to be fair, they kind of used 2 ultis, if I'm not mistaken, in the process. So
it's not easy to repeat that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And of course, they should be like finding ways at least to get these rounds without purely depending on their skill sets. Sometimes at the end of the day, like also really winning these aims can also be very beneficial for your team. So Ginny here, bit of an overextend in towards drop. But I like the discipline as well, just waiting for the right time to strike. Gets a little bit of whip there, but gets the heal. Not sure if she's going to see Lorco, but Lorco takes the frag to equalize the numbers advantage. But it will be Primi to dink her down in the process. Will be catching some bullets, but is enough to reposition Baby TZ. However, will be taking Ophelia down, who's been very much doing wonders for the team as well.
I'm watching here.
Oh, Baby TZ and Iceberg takes a little bit of peek of themselves. Then let's see. It's gonna be Chambers. Snipe. When Mochi uses the teleport. Has to be very careful with that because she can be taken down by the one at drop, which is Lorco. And Baby TZ takes one. Aluka, though, will be securing that kill and drop as well. That's going to be concussed. Uses that dash. Spots out Iceberg despite being concussed, but Baby TZ gets the free frag. And with that, 8-4 scoreline before we switch sides. This can still be a viable score for Team 2. Unless, of course, Team 4 runs away, and makes things really work for their attacking side.
We'll have to see, because just seeing the likes of Baby TZ and Kohibi struggling a little bit on that attacker side, I'm not sure what that's going to do for Team 4. But perhaps they have the confidence, right? After those first 8 rounds, you can sort of get in that mindset of just winning those aim duels still. But I guess what's going to set the tone and the pace for this second half is going to be how this pistol round goes. So avoiding the concuss there is going to be Aluka leading the charge. They want to dash straight into this side, straight in and up close. Kohibi going to shut down Aluka. Way too much of a slowdown here as well. They've all been sat back in the corner of the entrance to the site, and all this utility is coming in. Kohibi still alive and kicking, and kick they have done with 1 player left alive. Team 2 are brought up to the 4 versus 1, and Gwen going to shut down Primi. A very telling pistol round, and kind of what I was expecting, but was hoping was going to be the case.
But at the end of the day, Team 2 managed to really get that point away from Team 4. So right now, let's see if earlier in towards uh the previous matches. If I'm not mistaken, that was team. Oh, never mind. We I did see that there was a more stronger like defense, at least for the side of team two. Yeah, team four rather, and it quite reflected over
Here.
here. But right now, let's see if the attacker side will work favorable for them because they're also known for being aggressive, especially the likes of Ginny and Aluka. And it's really seeing now as Aluka just pushes down here, but not really noticing that one. A little bit of a whiff there, but Gwen was still able to take 2 before being
Player
taken down.
standing.
Ginny will be spotted out by Lorco from behind or appeal for the trade, but Baby TZ again secures the kill. So 8-6 now. They were able to get 2 rounds off, which is to be expected since they were the ones who won the pistol. And for Team 4 to have better weaponry in towards their attacker side, I
I have
think
extra money if
they
anyone
can
needs.
utilize both Oreophilia and Primmy's utilities, at least when taking a side. Example, getting in the likes of A main or B, they can use that flash and that concuss, and as well as the smoke to get more of um, a narrow array in towards the site. So the concuss is used, sure, but it would be nice as well if they kind of use the smokes and the flashes to their advantage.
Iceberg ready to go. Both Aureophilia and Iceberg ready to go.
Mm-hmm. TZ. Ooh. Aluka with the frag there. Kohaibi takes the trade as well, but Orifil and Aluka was able to capitalize on that off angle, as well as Mochi. Mochi now will be taking a free Vandal to salvage, and with only Lorco to work with here. Not sure if
Spike
they were able
planted.
to identify that she was in this area, but that's going to be concussed back there. Forces her to dash away. But I think Oreophilia already has an idea to where she is, so this could be a signal for the others. And beautiful trade peek back there for both Oreophilia and Aluka, just so that it can really throw Lorco off guard, just to identify where she'd look.
Need a drop.
And with that, that's already a 9-6 scoreline for Team 4. But ooh, 3 of them does. Oh, at least Ginny will only have a half armor to work with here for this matchup.
I mean, it's a Reyna. She can heal herself up in most situations, so not too big a deal, unlike if it was someone else in that situation. But it's very important that planning going into this round. It looks like there's plenty of presence from Team 2 in that A side, and I think a split towards B would be very good. But we do have a pause real quick, as seems to be an issue with someone. Yeah, there you go. So they'll just sort that out as quickly as they can. It's actually the first tech pause we've had all day long, which means it's been a very good day for some online Valorant.
Don't jinx it.
I'm just stating facts.
Here
Well
you
done
are,
to the guys behind FSL. Appreciate you all.
Of course. And of course, thank you for having us once again, despite all the shenanigans that we have caused through the previous ones. But then again, a quick tech pause here again. We'd like you guys to watch these games in the most optimized of conditions. So while that is being fixed, what do you think about more ways for at least Team 2 can do, just so that they can equalize the board here, Jaeger?
Calling my bot.
I think. I mean, they actually already have the right idea
Placing swarm grenade.
for the defense, because the defense has really mostly been about how good the retakes are, and when that spike goes down early, the retakes are that much easier because the site's very small. You don't have too much positions to hide in, especially with all this utility flying about. You've got mollies, you've got the you got a charge coming in from a breach as well. It forces you out of these positions, so they need to, as much as possible, at least for Team 4, they need to keep being aggressive before that spike goes down. And for Team 2, they just need to play passive. Wait for your chance to fight back in.
Exactly. Not really much more to say at that point, as I mean, it's basically the ideal play here, but right now we're seeing some interesting takes for the side of Team 4 right here, getting in towards A main. Just hoping that they would also watch their backs respectively. And that's also gonna be the camera. If the camera does detect Kohibi, that would have been a different situation. But then Kohibi was able to really go back to safety, and they just created presence towards A. That's a signal for others to go back to B. But look at that, Ginny was able to deny the flank that could have come from uh, Team 2. So Kohibi here just places that swarm grenades, but it didn't really uh, falter them. With that, they were able to enter the site. That's going to be a double leer right there. He also uses the rolling thunder, but Ginny was able to hide to safety. Aluka takes baby TZ down. Primi will be using that molly at least to deny whoever's in the corner. Primi as well. Let's see if he is able to watch main. He should be able to hear that. Oh, but we
Oh,
do see Kohibi is able to spot out Primi Aluka for the trade. Kohibi being the only member alive. Not really the best of time to peek back there. And just like that, we do see a 10 points now for Team 4. 18 to 10 on under Ariofilia's name. She's been really popping up for the team, and as well as Ginny. This is a different performance that she had in towards the previous game that, you know, they recently played.
yeah, they have been coming back stronger and stronger, and I think maybe that 13-1 was a wake-up call for them to start performing their absolute best. So now you've got Ginny leading the charge yet again and spotting on the corner. Didn't manage to do any damage there, Gwen. And they are just going to split this A site straight up. Everyone's in spawn at the moment, and they are being forced back by all this utility. Spike yet to go down. And again, it's those retakes that are the strongest thing, but with this forward offensive coming into play from Team 4, they don't even get a chance to fight back in.
Very aggressive plays for the side of Team 4 at the moment. Primi will be taking Lorco down. Mochi as well, just spraying in towards this site. Aluka though will be taking Iceberg down. Ginny as well in towards that corner, and they should be running off, hunting down Kohibi. Will be meeting ends with Ginny, and Ginny just ends it, and this is where fight goes. 11 to 6 now in favor still of Team 4. One more, and this could be match point for them.
This has been a huge turnaround from Team 4. Their first game, we saw them play earlier, they lost 13-8, they lost 13-1. Now they're in the lead and they're well on their way to getting this match point. But here's a response from Team 2, right? Baby TZ has an operator, no armor. Again, it's Arena. She can heal herself up a little bit if she does take some damage. Ariophilia making her way through the underpass to try and get this flank going from a different position, but this is going to be another split towards the B site where all on her own Gwen is going to have to deal with quite a lot of bodies being thrown at her. Out comes a snake bite, and she can't really look for safety anywhere. Mochi has pushed forward, but there, a nice kill from Gwen to find Mochi. Out comes the Viper's Pit as well. That's exactly what she needed, and now she can defend this side.
A little bit of a whiff there from Oriofilia as Iceberg was able to take her down after all of those skill sets. Aluka with the up will be missing that shot. Gwen for the push and the right click takes 3k. 11 to 7. Not actually denying that match point away from them, and they do have a free operator as well. But ooh, double operator. 2 operators from Team 2. Oh, make it 1. Never mind. I was about to worry a bit if it were double, but okay, I'm a bit worried right now. Please don't play with my heart.
I think they're intending to use this leftover rifle on the floor and just run between them. Like you can see Gwen pulling them closer to the side. Could make things easier on the defense. but that is a lot of money spent. A very expensive round from Team 2. Let's hope that it pays off for them. Lorco, very close to these doors.
Will be greeted by Kohybe and friends if ever they do decide to open up these ropes. Gets a quick peek, but Oreo no better and was able to take Lorco down as well. Baby TZ with the op kill will be taking that trade, forces them to back away, make it a double as she takes down Aluka, and all the more having that man advantage in towards their side. Can this be another 8 points for them? Maybe an 13 to 8, or maybe they can like turn the tides around. We can't never know, but no, Baby T's doing a pretty good job with this operator at the moment. They do have the spike and a beautiful snipe once again to take it down, and she already knows that one is in here, but Mochi will deny that 4K.
30 seconds
She
left.
doesn't have the spike still, so she may just go for some exit frags, I assume. But with a lot of members in here, that's going to be 1. She'll be taking a 3 damage. But Gwen also knows how to use the operator, she says, and that is 11 to 8. Could this be a 13-8, or could this be the start of Team 2 actually coming back?
Remains to be seen. A lot of that came down to, I think Aluka had to survive there, but Baby TZ with her own operator did such a good job in this round, and one by one, you can see it there, it's got shut down. So they have to be able to deal with this operator. Smoke's in the right places, and Aluka has to stay alive to take down those kills. They are forced onto an eco round. And 11 to 8, we have seen 13-9 today, but I don't know what the score is going to be. Ultimately, as Baby TZ is going to be taken down by Baby TZ is going to take down Aluka once again with the operator. And they pile in one by one. They're getting a little bit sloppy once again. We should be seeing double peaks. We should be seeing, the double swings and the triple swings and the utility as well, just to give them that little bit of space. Instead, we are seeing full shutdowns. Mochi has to take her time. She's used her ult in this particular round.
Exactly. She can isolate the fights at this point, but look at that. She's going to be concussed, and it's a nice decision for her to hide, but look at this. She is being slowly hunted down by the members, and look at the angle that Iceberg was able to cover. And just like that, they were able to get a flawless round. 11 to 9. This game is pretty much still alive.
Not wrong. And I mean, it just starts off with that, doesn't it? Bit of damage done, but it wasn't enough to take down that Reyna. That would have been an absolute snowball if that had happened. But Baby TZ has been making this operator work really well. Mochi wasn't even aware of Iceberg's position. So 2 rounds separate them now, but it's a full buy available for Team 4. Let's see if we can see more of what we saw earlier on in this game. Now comes the turret, spots these players. It's going to be a fast rotate. You can see that they rotate so quickly, Team 2.
Definitely, they're very much proactive in towards the side. That's going to be a rolling thunder. This could be an opportunity now for Team 4 to enter here. A lot of utilities drone, but Kohybe was able to take her down in an off angle, make it another one, make it a 4K here. Beautiful spray down for Kohybe, and with only Ginny to work with here, the timing won't be in her favor as Gwen denies that ace, but enough to get that round rolling. 11 to 10, pretty close here. We're starting to see Team 4 quite toned down a bit, and that may not be the best situation that you'd want, since they did have the leading point at the start.
My goodness, what a spray down there from Kohybe. They all line up for her, and it would have taken one molly from Primi just to push that position out. Just a couple of oversights here and there, really, on this attacking side. They've already shown they can take some attacking side rounds very convincingly, but we are fast approaching the draw here. And Baby TZ, again, such a scary prospect. And don't dry peek that, my goodness. A risky play. They should be waiting for the flashes to come in from the breach, the smokes to force Baby TZ back. Just secure the site like you normally do. Retakes are so much harder with an operator.
Indeed. No casualties just yet, at least for both sides of the team, but Primi is slowly making her way towards A main. Will be smoking, probably drop, and the middle side as well. Ooh, those are a lot to work with here. It's gonna be Toxin to be placed here. But the lockdown, though, it's going to leave Primi in a tough situation. Was able to get out, though. Also thankful for the Viper's walls. That kind of protected Primi. Because if that wall wasn't there, I assume that Kohibi would have spotted her out. Oh!
What a shot from Lorco. Primi tried to take advantage of the rope being used in that situation. Rheophilia's heard it go up again. But trying to split from Dish and from main can be quite difficult. Turret's already spotted one. Aluka, great shot. Headshot there to boot.
One enemy remaining.
And there's not much time for that spike to go down. Aluka's been taken down. Lorco, a right click with the classic 11-11, and they have tied up the scoreline. But weapons available for Team 4.
This is the perfect time for them to actually get this match point done if they want things to really go into their favor here. And it's up to them to actually okay, they're gonna use it. Okay, but for the side of Team 2, they're pretty much healthy despite whether they win or lose this round. They're economically healthy here. So there's no economic disparity that's going to happen anytime soon, since they can still trap for their team. And with that, we're just gonna have a quick tech pause once again. Again, we would like you guys to watch these plays in the most optimal conditions, and we're just gonna fix that out while waiting. I'm starting to see that disconnection once again for the side of Team 4. Yes, although they are pushing together, but the fact that it's not as smart as they would play it as from the previous rounds, it's starting to. I think it's giving it a bit of a mental fatigue here on what more they could have done. Just so that they can take the sites, because I think one of the fear factors here, or that adds additional threat to them, is Baby Teasy's op, because the fact that Baby Teasy was able to really isolate the fights and get a 3 before actually being shut down, I guess that's also quite tiring. Look at this timing once more. We'll be getting another casualty under her name, and despite all odds, Iceberg as well to help as well with Lorco. But this now forces
Player standing.
to use, and Kohibi will also double peek it with Gwen. Or you feel being the only member alive. It looks like Team 2 was able, or is able, to get this match point, because I don't feel like Orfeo is going to do much here, since she only has 4 HP to work with, and she's only alone.
That is heartbreaking for Team 4. No money and such a huge lead, but 6 rounds in a row for Team 2 just to get this comeback going. I mean, at one point the score was 11-6, and now it is match point for Team 2. It just goes to show how well they've been playing. And this is the final buy, potentially, at least it is the first for the first 24 rounds before overtime, if ever. A Bulldog, 2 Vandals, an Operator, and a Phantom. Cast off with an aggressive play. Up comes the flash. Before one coming through, as well as Lorco completely blinded. Plenty of enemies inside the site, but what a one-tap. Lorco's been doing them all day long, and she's just done it again. Ginny is there, though, to get the trade.
Spike down.
Looking for potentially a couple more. Iceberg sitting underneath the rope will find the kill onto Ginny. 2 versus 4 now. And this retake is already looking too good to be true.
Indeed, and it's only Aluka's remaining, but the frenzy's there. But Baby TZ for the night to end this matchup.
Unnecessary, but there you go. Team 2, another victory, and a very close one as well. 13-11. Kohibi really came to life in the second half, with Ginny keeping it close, but this has been tale as old as time. The fight between these two, it's always been a question of who is better, but they switch those titles every single time. So Kahibi 23 this time, Jinning on 21, and 13-11. Team 2 doing a very good job securing another win for themselves. I think Team 5, Team 5, they did lose the first, what was that, sextuple overtime. But it's they've been able to bounce back, and there you have it for the 6th matchup on Fracture. 11-13 in favor of Team 2. We still have one more game left to go for today. We have Team 3 and Team 5 going up against each other on Split. So that is going to be the fight going into the next game. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere, because we will be right back for the final game of the day.